30 years, the Meadowlands racetrack has played host to harness racing's greatest moments, and this past season was no exception. The 1 mile strip saw many records broken, new champions were crowned, and even some Hall of Fame careers were revived. So sit back and join us for those thrills and chills racing fans have come to expect. The Big M's Best of 2006 begins right now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Best of 2006 here at the Meadowlands Racetrack. I'm Dave Brower, joined by Bob Hayden. And Bob, when I think back over the past season of racing here at the Big M, I am in awe at a few of our drivers here who are not yet over the hill, but they are over 50.
We all know about Veterans Day. How about Veterans Meet, which might be the best way to describe the 2006 Big M Meadowlands season? Consider this stat. The 4 richest harness races last year in the year 2006 all were won by a driver over the age of 50, including 7 of the 12 Breeders' Crown events and the 2 marquee Meadowlands races, the Hambletonian and the Meadowlands Pace. Now, this is the 30th anniversary season at the Big M. You might have thought a young driver or two might have seized control and taken over, but apparently that memo has never been received by Mr. Campbell, LaChance, Manzi, or Pierce.
All right, well, let's get things rolling with a look at perhaps the most dominant freshman trotter we've seen in quite some time. The date was August 3rd, the race, the Peter Houghton Memorial, and this was the unveiling of a superstar.
And since 1981, this race has served as a main course for freshman trotters looking for year-end recognition. But the last decade, the focus has shifted because in a quarter century of Peter Houghton finals, none has come back at 3 to capture the Hambletonian.
Up and trotting and Stuntman Hall, guns from the far outside. Bamboo Yankee is out very alertly. Gliding Myth from the inside with early speed there. Mythical Lindy gets into the early mix with Donato Hanover as they swing around the first turn. It's Ray Schnitker and Bamboo Yankee. Toby Lynch challenging with Stuntman Hall on the outside, rebuffed early here as Mythical Lindy tucks in third in front of Gliding Myth, fourth to the opening quarter. Donato Hanover, the favorite, is fifth. Gap at 2 to Impedo Griff, getting whip urging from sixth. Then it's Manfinity, followed by Around and Over off stride, bet to win on a break, Anton K. 28-2 down the backstretch, quick move from Dave Miller and Mythical Lindy up and at him on a third, a brush to the front. Mythical Lindy darts to the top here. Bamboo Yankee now second with Stuntman Hall third up the backside. Gliding Myth is fourth. Donato Hanover still on the cones fifth. Gap at 2, Impedo Griff sixth on the outside. Then it's Manfinity, followed by Around and Over. The distant trailers, bet to win and Anton K. The half. Mythical Lindy there in 58 seconds. Mythical Lindy on top into the far turn, the one to knock off. Bamboo Yankee, here comes Gliding Myth now. Jody Jameson, guns first over, is now second and challenging, and that gives Donato Hanover live cover in a great striking spot, second over, fourth. Locked in now is Stuntman Hall fifth. Impedo Griff is third over, gapping the cover spot. Locked in is Manfinity. Excess cover for Around and Over. A long way to come there. A tall order there. It's Mythical Lindy still in front. Mythical Lindy and Dave Miller trying to fend off Gliding Myth on the outside. 127-1. Into the stretch here. It's Mythical Lindy opening up by 2.5, 3 under Dave Miller urging. Donato Hanover on the outside. Swings off cover, and here he comes. Big stretch kick from Donato Hanover on the outside. Pouncing on Mythical Lindy. And Donato Hanover is drawing clear. Donato Hanover romps here. Makes it 4 in a row, and the Steve Elliott Dream season continues. Ron Pierce, Donato Hanover, 1:55 track and stakes record in the Peter Houghton Memorial.
This 1:55 effort in the 26th edition of the Peter Houghton, almost a full second better than the 55-4 posted by Donerail back 12 years earlier, which was a stakes and track record. And for Donato Hanover, he's the only likely award winner who did not lose the race after the Meadowlands meet ended in August.
Bob, the Hanover-bred son of Andover Hall, would go on to win 8 of 9 starts, banking over $660,000 for owners David Scharf, Stephen Arnold, and the Golden Touch stable. Up next, a peek at the older trotter who was most dominant in the division's most important races. Here's the Breeders' Crown Open Trot from July 29th, the purse $800,000, and a look at Sand, Sears, and Smedsammer.
And this is the only Breeders' Crown race that has gone for $1 million, haven't done so 3 times, 2000, 2001, 2002. And Vivid Photo was trying to become the first Hambletonian winner in 18 years to come back a year later and capture this Breeders' Crown division.
And they're off, and Vivid Photo gets the first call from mid-pack, heading out for the lead. Muscles Marinera is chased out from the inside. Elegant Man is sitting up close in third. Sandvik floats away on the outside fourth. Sir Perseverance between horses. Strong Yankee wrestled back under a hard hold from Mike LaChance toward the outside. Lawman is at the rail in seventh. Corleone Cosmos following a parked out Strong Yankee, and Smooth Muscles lines up behind them, ninth on the rim as they move toward the quarter, and it's Vivid Photo in front. The front split in 27 and 3. And now Sandvik is striding up on the outside. He is now second and pressing on toward the lead. Strong Yankee follows him on the move on the outside. Shuffled back just a bit. Muscles Marinera. Elegant Man has lost ground. He's dropped back on the inside. Corleone Cosmos continuing to follow the cover, gapping it slightly. Second over and third over is Smooth Muscles getting carried up. He's now racing in 7th. Lawman joins the flow and Sir Perseverance is the trailer. Sandvik in front. Strong Yankee first over on the outside. The half and 55 and 4. Vivid Photo is locked in the box right now, racing in 3rd as they move on to the far turn. Second over there on the outside as they head around the turn. Corleone Cosmos with a striking spot. Smooth Muscles is following him. Third up, locked in with nowhere to go is Muscles Marinera. Elegant Man is pinned in heavy traffic as well. Lawman with excess cover. Corleone Cosmos 3 wide and Sandvik counters and quickens on the lead. Vivid Photo is 2 lengths from him in second. Corleone Cosmos third, 3/4 in 1:24 and 4. A 29-second third quarter breather and Sandvik sprints for home with a 2-length lead. Vivid Photo has tracked him all the way and tips to the outside. Corleone Cosmos on the outside third. Sears working away on Sandvik. Vivid Photo is 2 lengths from him. Corleone Cosmos on the outside. Sandvik. Vivid Photo is trying to come to him. Sandvik. Vivid Photo. One last lunge. It's Sandvik. 6 today for Sears. Vivid Photo second. Corleone Cosmos third. 1:52 and 3.
Sandvik was the only horse, trotter, or pacer over the age of 3 in 2006 to earn better than $1 million. This is Tron's 6th Breeders' Crown, all with trotters. He won this very class in 2004 with HP Pack, and something of a zero-to-hero season for Sandvik. Last year, made almost $500,000 without winning a race.
A week later, Sandvik would capture the Nat Ray, adding to earlier wins in the Titan Cup and Arthur Cutler Memorial, all propelling the 5-year-old gelding by Mr. Vic to a $1 million season for owner August Meidel. Fresh off a record-setting $15 million season in 2005, Brian Sears continued his meteoric rise to the top of the sport, winning both the regular and full meet driving championships. That's 5 consecutive Big M titles for the White Knight, who won 7 on July 29th, including 2 Breeders' Crowns. We'll be back with more of the best of 2006 right after this. Their racing dreams, quite like George Siegel of the Brittany Farms this season, and his prize pupil was just getting started back on July 14th in the final of the Del Miller Memorial, where a daughter of Yankee Glide began her quest for Horse of the Year.
Named for the greatest ambassador the sport has ever known, this year's edition came on the 10th anniversary of Del Miller's passing, the man who won in 8 different decades on 6 different continents and brought us countless adios, Dale Frost, and the great Tarport Hap.
Off-end trotting Miss Eleonora bursting out of there for the Catman from the far outside. Queen Serene flashes speed there. Surges from the inside, goes for the lead and spars there as E-Man T moves up third on the inside. Passionate Glide, the heavy favorite, gets away, floats out there into 4th. It's a gap of 2 to Miss Wisconsin, 5th to the opening quarter. Susie's Magic 6th on the cones. My Tai is 7th, followed by KD Girl. And then it's Workout Doll next to last, and far back after the break was Zeta Jones. First quarter, 27 seconds flat here, and it's Tron Smetshammer with Queen Serene, elimination winner, opening up by 4. She is fired up here and headstrong. Queen Serene trotting a storm down the backstretch. Miss Eleonora in the second spot. E-Man T is third. 2 lengths to Passionate Glide, 4th. Another 2 to Miss Wisconsin, 5th on the cone. Susie's Magic is 6th. 2 lengths to My Tai, 7th. Then it's KD Girl, who's off stride. Then it's Workout Doll. Zeta Jones far back, half 54 and 1. 27-1 in that second quarter. Queen Serene looking to speed pop them here, leads it by 10 lengths on the far turn. Queen Serene trying to get away from them. On the outside, E-Man T. On the inside, Miss Eleonora still second, 3 wide now. Passionate Glide gets in gear with a lot of work to do. 2 lengths to Miss Wisconsin, 5th. It's Susie's Magic racing 6th. 2 lengths to a fading My Tai. Around her comes Workout Doll. 3 quarters, 1:22 and 4, 28 and 3 in that third quarter, and it's still Queen Serene. Queen Serene by 5. She is slowing up here, and Tron Smetshammer's trying to get her home, but she is being tracked down by Passionate Glide on the inside, and Passionate Glide is getting to a very leg-weary Queen Serene, and Passionate Glide skims the cones here and draws clear. here. She'll make it 6 in a row. Passionate Glide in the Del Miller Memorial Final in 1:52 and 4/5 over Queen Serene. Close for show. Susie's Magic and Miss Wisconsin on the inside.
Passionate Glide used this race as a stepping stone towards a brilliant 13 out of 15 season, one where she thoroughly dominated the sophomore ladies. And in 2006, she was part of history. For the only time ever, a sire Yankee Glide had two, a filly and a colt, millionaires in the same year, Glidemaster and Passionate Glide.
Passionate Glide and Queen Serene would continue their rivalry all the way to the 3 heats of the Kentucky Filly Futurity. She went on to earn over $1 million for Siegel's Brittany Farms and is the favorite to be named Horse of the Year. The future stars of our sport, the 2-year-olds, were on display August 4th in the $410,000 final of the Woodrow Wilson, and it featured a colt invading from Chicago, driven by a guy who knows how to win races.
In the prior 29 editions of the Woodrow Wilson, 28 different trainers have won. Only Bob McIntosh has repeated. This year, Tom Harmer would send out the favorite for the 2nd straight season. Remember, last year, Pujols was 3rd as the 4-5 choice.
And they're off the Double Dion. Timed the gate well and gets the first call, but there goes Fox Valley Barsgar showing the whip early. Pandora's Sox from the outside comes away racing in 3rd. Artzina from the inside 4th. Mr. Apples takes back 5th in the early stages. Fingal Hanover settles 6th in behind him. Rough Me Up is 7th as they move toward the quarter. What's Up Now is about 2 lengths further back in 8th. Then racing in 9th, Art at Heart and Art Crown Merit trails the field. Their straight alignment in Fox Valley Barsgar has seated everyone. Opening quarter in 26 and 3. The Double Dion landed in the 2-hole there 2nd. Then it's 2 lengths to Pandora's Sox in 3rd. Artzina's gapped about 2.5 lengths further back 4th. And Mr. Apples under a tight hold will follow him all the way. Fingal Hanover is 6th on the inside. No pressure up front for Fox Valley Barsgar. And he starts to relax on the lead as they move toward the half, looking for a breather. Mr. Apples flushes out the cover he wanted as Artzina tips to the outside. Fingal Hanover lines up 3rd over. What's Up Now shoots the gap in traffic up the cones. The half was in 55 and 3. 8th on the inside as the field moves on to the far turn is Art at Heart. Rough Me Up ends up 4th over on the outside, and a tough spot for Art Crown Merit, who trails the field. And Fox Valley Barsgar lets out a notch again and gets some separation. He's 3 lengths clear. Racing in 2nd on the inside is the Double Dion. Artzina is grinding 1st over, but he has some work to do there as Fox Valley Barsgar sprints out to a 3.5 length lead. 3/4 in 1:23 and 1. Tony Morgan and Fox Valley Barsgar are well in front here. Artzina trying to come on the outside. The Double Dion toward the inside, angling for a bit of racing room. Pandora's Sox. Mr. Apples coming late on the outside as well. Fox Valley Barsgar drifting out, but with a big lead. Mr. Apples into 2nd. Artzina 3rd. It's Fox Valley Barsgar coast to coast in the Woodrow Wilson. Fox Valley Barsgar does it. Mr. Apples 2nd. Artzina saved 3rd from Pandora's Sox. 1:50 and 2/5, a stakes record.
The out-of-towner here didn't star Jack Lemmon, rather Fox Valley Barsgar for Chicago-based conditioner Tom Harmer, the trainer of last year's standout freshman Jeremy's Jet. The time of 1:50 and 2 was a stakes record in this, the 30th edition of the Wilson. And if you don't think this race has plenty of history, think again. The 6 richest races in the entire history of harness racing, all Woodrow Wilsons.
Quite a follow-up season for Harmer, who sent out both Pujols and Jeremy's Jet in 2005. This colt, an Illinois-bred son of Incredible Finale, and another successful private purchase by owner Mike Polanski of Loudonville, New York. The comeback story of 2006 was Hall of Famer John Campbell, who reestablished himself as the best ever. He won his 6th Hambletonian and averaged over $6,000 in purse earnings every time he climbed into the sulky. Campbell's season was cut short in October when he suffered a broken leg in a racing accident, but he will be back in 2007. More of the Meadowlands Best of 2006 is coming up. For the usual $1 million, and all eyes were squarely focused on a Hall of Fame driver with a pacer seeking his 9th straight win.
And would they be rock and rolling like last year when the Horse of the Year dominated, or would it be a wild scramble to the wire like Holborn Hanover's 58-1 upset in 2004?
And they're off and took Hanover from the outside, gets the first call. Long shot, My Boy David is put into play early. Up close from the rail is Perfect Union, who looks to settle into 3rd. Artistic Fella floats away between horses. Western Ace is 3 wide early. Shark Gesture is 6th on the inside. Real Mean Art is caught a bit wide on the turn. Total Truth is lining up to follow Western Ace for Team Teague. Further back racing in 9th is Armbro Deuce, and Dave Panlone trails the field, and Dave Miller makes a move with Perfect Union on the outside. Up and after took Hanover. They hit the quarter in 26-3, and Artistic Fella follows the move of Perfect Union. So Perfect Union is about to clear the lead. Pressure coming, though, as the favorite Artistic Fella is right alongside in second. Took Hanover, who left the gate well, is now third. Racing in fourth is My Boy David. Shark Gesture is fifth, and Artistic Fella takes the lead before the half-mile marker. Western Ace is sixth on the outside. Total Truth is following him. Armbro Deuce is eighth on the outside. Then it's Real Mean Art, the half in 53-1. And 10th and trailing is Dave Panlone and Artistic Fella and the Catman, a length in front as they wheel onto the far turn. Perfect Union is second, and Campbell takes a shot with Took Hanover, who's coming on the outside. And Took Hanover is up and after Artistic Fella, just half a length away as they near the three-quarter marker. Artistic Fella still in front on the inside. Took Hanover right at his throat on the outside second. Perfect Union has dropped back a bit in third. Total Truth trying to kick on three deep on the outside. Three quarters in 1:21-3. It's Artistic Fella at the top of the stretch who leads it. Took Hanover is still 2 lengths away on the outside. Armbro Deuce in the middle of the racetrack is coming. Perfect Union there. My Boy David angles out. Artistic Fella still there. Armbro Deuce charging hard with My Boy David. Artistic Fella. Armbro Deuce. My Boy David. Artistic Fella wins the Meadowlands pace in a masterpiece. 1:48-4.
Steve Elliott's dream season continues. His first Meadowlands pace. Same with Cat Manzi, 56 or not. He's right there on the wire with the best drivers in the business. No horse in the 30-year history of the pace had ever won the limb and the final in under 149 until Artistic Fella, who then would win Holmes 10 straight, the fifth horse in history to win double figures in a row at the Big M.
What a win for donor Joe Albarano and his posse in the winner's circle, and what an effort by the colt who took his lifetime mark of 148-4 and a hard-fought elimination victory the week before the final. Perhaps the deciding race of 2006 in the older mare division was July 29th's Breeders' Crown. Burning Point and Glowing Report both had 3 wins going in, but neither of them was the favorite.
Eastern Alliance was a chalk. Odds on here at 3-5.
And they're off. LD's Val is leaving from the outside. KG Catriona between horses. Burning Point flashing her usual speed. And Marnie Hall is pushed into play from the far outside early. Born Storyteller has come away racing in fourth on the inside. In fifth is Eastern Alliance. Stonebridge Kisses gap slightly under, urging sixth in the early stages. Then Glowing Report drops in seventh, looking to settle behind her. Now pacing on as they head toward the quarter. Racing in eighth is Rest of Hanover. LD's Val backed off her leave attempt the quarter in 26-2. And Shawtat Milk is 10th and trailing on the inside, and Marnie Hall clears them from the outside post. Immediate pressure is coming from Burning Point on the outside, and Pierce puts Burning Point on the lead at the midpoint of the backstretch. Born Storyteller comes first over on the outside. KG Catriona, after leaving hard, shuffled back racing in fourth as Burning Point works to the front. Eastern Alliance is second over on the outside in a perfect striking spot right now. Stonebridge Kiss is third over, sixth on the rim following her, and the half was up in 53-3. A rail ride all the way for a pin down Rest of Hanover. Access cover fourth over for Glowing Report. Shawtad Milk is ninth on the inside. LD's Val is fifth over trailing the field, and Burning Point is a neck in front with 5/16 to go. Born Storyteller taking it to her on the outside. Eastern Alliance is second over, gapping cover slightly though and struggling, leading in there on the turn as they come to the top of the stretch, 3 quarters in 1:21-2, and Burning Point turns for home with a length and a half lead. Marnie Hall on the inside. Born Storyteller trying to hang in there. Eastern Alliance straightening out of the straightaways, coming on again for Campbell on the outside. Burning Point bracing for the challenge. Eastern Alliance trying to work up closer. Born Storyteller between them. Burning Point is almost there. Eastern Alliance on the outside with Born Storyteller. It's Burning Point who does it. Born Storyteller appeared to get second. Eastern Alliance third, tight for fourth. 1:49-2.
Burning Point put an exclamation point on her near $3 million career as the fourth pacing female to win a Breeders' Crown at under 150. Ron Pierce, 13 of his 18 crowns since 2003. And how about the winning owners of Cousin Stable? Especially fun was this race for them. Burning Point is their very first racehorse.
At this time, trainer Steve Elliott was the hottest guy in harness racing. The crown with Burning Point came just 2 weeks after Artistic Fella's Meadowlands pace and 5 days before his Peter Houghton with Donato Hanover. When you're hot, and Dave Miller was sizzling on a cold December evening in the fall Final Four. Miller won 3 of the 4 rich events for freshmen and finished second in the other, racking up over $763,000 in earnings. His 5% driving commission was over $38,000. Not bad for less than 8 minutes worth of work. We're back with more after this. afterthought, just another big race on a stakes-laden card. But in 2006, harness history unfolded in the U.S. Pacing Championship when the teletimer lit up at the end of the mile.
And no other stakes race in North America can say this. 10 straight years and its current sub-150.
And they're off. Stonebridge Regal sprints away from in between horses for the lead. Georgia Pacific chased out on the inside second. Holborn Hanover moving up toward the outside. Santastic's Pan backs away. Load the Dice caught just a bit wide early. And Leading Example is sitting up close. He's fourth on the inside as they pace around the opening turn. Seventh, second last is P47. And My Panmar follows him at the back of the pack, trailing the field as they move toward the quarter. Stonebridge Regal in front. Georgia Pacific is right there in the two-hole second. Opening quarter 26-3. And here comes Holborn Hanover. Holborn Hanover with a quarter move to the lead for Brennan as they hit the back stretch. Leading Example racing in fourth. Load the Dice parked on the outside waiting for his cover. Santastic's Pan moving up to his inside. Stacked up behind Load the Dice, who's backing up is P47. And My Panmar is eighth and last on the inside as Holborn Hanover shows the way nearing the half-mile split. Stonebridge Regal is in the pocket spot there second. Nice rail ride up close for Georgia Pacific. They hit the half in 53-3. Leading Example has been flushed out to the outside, so Load the Dice got the cover he waited for. He's second over, hoping to get carried up, but gapping it slightly. Santastic's Pan locked in on the inside with 3/8 to go. No racing room for a trapped-in My Panmar. Excess cover for P47. They come to three quarters. Holborn Hanover in front. Stonebridge Regal trying to gear up from that pocket spot. Leading Example 3 lengths away. Georgia Pacific fourth to his inside, three quarters in 1:20-4. And it's Holborn Hanover's race to win or lose at the top of the stretch. Brennan going to work, and he's 2 lengths in front. Stonebridge Regal edges to the outside from the pocket with an 8 to go. Georgia Pacific racing in third. Holborn Hanover under a full-out drive leads it. Stonebridge Regal trying to get to him on the outside, but it is Holborn Hanover who's strong, and Holborn Hanover takes the second division of the U.S. Pacing Championship. 1:46-4 world record for Holborn Hanover.
George Brennan's best year was capped by his finest hour right here as Holborn Hanover bulldozes his way into the record book, uncorking a mile for the ages. 1:46-4, 26 flat, final quarter, rewriting the record book.
Once the scene of his greatest triumph, the 2004 Meadowlands pace, Holborn Hanover can now call himself the fastest racehorse in history for owners John Fielding and Albert Imbrogno's Can America Capital. And finally, folks, the granddaddy of them all, it's the Hambletonian with a purse of $1.5 million held on August 5th. And if there were any doubters about the winningest driver in Hambo history, I think they were laid to rest.
And Tron's Trio was the focus going in. Defending 2-year-old champ Chocolatier had the furthest to go.
They're off, and Berto Primo sticks ahead in front. He's going for the lead. Blue Mac Glad with speed from the inside. Cape Town Hall shows up with Here Comes Herbie, and Algiers Hall from the inside. They are 4 deep around the first turn. Chocolatier caught wide around that first turn from the outside. And a few steps thrown in there by Berto Primo. It's Here Comes Herbie up on the outside. Blue Mac Glad. Here comes Herbie up to challenge Blue Mac Glad for the lead. Cape Town Hall away in good order third. Algiers Hall fourth past the opening quarter mile. The Catman has Berto Primo now tucked in fifth on the rail, getting underway. Mr. Pine Chip sixth on the outside and gaining ground. And then on the inside, it's Global Glide near the back of the pack with Glide Master, Chocolatier, and Race Fan at the back. 26-4. Hot opening marker. Here comes Herbie, the fastest elimination winner, looking to go down the road again. Stablemate Blue Mac Glad right there in the helmet in the second spot. A perfect trip for him. Cape Town Hall on the inside third. Berto Primo starts up fourth on the outside and gaining. Algiers Hall is fifth on the inside. Mr. Pine Chip now has live cover. He's second over, sixth on the outside. Into the flow is Glide Master. Shuffled back and locked in on the rail is Global Glide. Chocolatier a long way to come from the back of the pack, then Race Fan. The half was 54 3/5, 27-3 in that second quarter. Here comes Herbie. He's the one to catch here and reel in. Blue Mac Glad a perfect trip. Stalled on the outside now. Berto Primo still lurking there as they turn for home. Mr. Pine Chip second over, and he is fourth and fanning to the outside. Glide Master is trying to track him. 3 quarters in 1:23-3 into the stretch of the Hambletonian. And here comes Herbie, is still in front, but he's off now drifting out, and room at the rail. It's Blue Mac Glad, and a big move here from Glide Master, who explodes for Campbell. Chocolatier is closing well as well, but it's Mr. Hambletonian, his 6th win in the Hamiltonian. John Campbell and Clydemaster. Chocolatier in the photo for place with Blue Mac Lad. 1:51.1, a track and stakes record.
With 117,000 on his card. He wins in a record time in the 81st edition. He winds up the year at $1.9 million, the 8th trotting Triple Crown winner, second in 34 years. And he's going to try to do something not done since Beverly Pride pulled it off in 1968. Win the Horse of the Year and the trotting Triple Crown. We'll see if Glidemaster can do it, the son of Yankee Glide.
And Bob Glidemaster overcame a hoof injury the week of the eliminations to come back and score in the final for owners Bob and Karen Olsen Burgess, Marcia Cohen, and the Brittany Farms. Well, Bob, that wraps up the best of 2006 here at the Big M. Another sensational season of racing in East Rutherford. What are you looking forward to in 2007?
Well, Campbell come back for sure. John comes back for the stakes season, it looks like. A dominating Donato Hanover, I think that's going to happen. A victorious veteran parade just continues. The older drivers, they can't even call them old anymore. They just keep on going. They keep defying Father Time. Burning Point coming back, taking a shot maybe at Eternal Cam Nation's all-time earnings mark. And Andover Hall, can he keep it rolling next year? Steve Elliott had 1 Andover Hall this year. He's got 10 next year.
And that'll do it for 2006. For Bob Hayden, Ken Workington, Sam McKee, and all of us here at the Big M, I'm Dave Brower. Thanks so very much for being with us, and we look forward to seeing you in 2007.